Hello my cupcakes and welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing this very popular foundation that's been pretty much all over the YouTube beauty world. I had actually purchased this item as soon as it was available on Sephora, but when it had arrived I was in Chicago, so I wasn't able to film right away. So I am a little bit late with this review, but better late than never. So as you can see in the title down below, today we are reviewing the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation, and I have it in the shade 180, which is supposed to be for light skin with warm undertones. Now I know there are tons and tons of reviews with this foundation out already, but a lot of you guys had still requested that I do the review because I guess you guys like my foundation reviews. So on Sephora's website, the foundation comes in 40 different shades. I was literally contemplating between 3 different shades that might work for me, and I didn't want to purchase like 3 different foundations to review and mix all together, because if there's 40 different shades, I'm sure there is a shade that is for me, so I'm really hoping that this shade works. So this foundation gives skin an instantly smooth, pore diffused, shine-free finish that easily builds to medium to full coverage. The oil-free formula is made with climate-adaptive technology that's resistant to sweat and humidity and won't clog pores, so that wherever you are, it's going to work on your skin. Best of all, this long-wearing, light-as-air texture is undetectable on skin, so you always look like you. I mean, if you guys have been watching my videos for a while now, I am a full coverage foundation lover, so I am not usually the type that likes sheer to medium coverage foundations, because whenever I actually wear foundation, it's because I want my skin to look flawless. I mean, honestly, I don't even wear foundation when I'm just like stepping out for, I don't know, to get coffee or grocery shop or something. So I'm not sure if I would actually have a reason to wear foundation to just make it look more like natural or like my skin, but we'll see. So I'm actually really excited to test out this foundation to see if it is buildable, because if I do end up liking this foundation, but I would prefer a little more coverage, then if it's buildable, it would work out pretty well for me. I have combination skin, mostly oily, just like on the T-zone and the sides of my nose right here. My cheek area is usually like normal to, it could get pretty dry, but it's pretty normal here. So it's like normal to combination skin. I also have some acne scars, like a little bit of pigmentation that I usually like to cover up, hence the reason why I like full coverage foundations. I also had purchased the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna sponge. I wanted to use the Beauty Blender, but I just wanted to see how this sponge performed with this foundation, so we'll give this a try. If this is a fail, then oh my gosh, I don't even think I can return it. I don't know. Can you return used items like sponges? Alright, so now that all the information is out there, let's jump right into the video. So I brought you guys a little closer so you guys can actually see how the foundation is applying on my skin. I also want to show you guys the primer that I've been using and loving these days. It's the Becca no, that's not right. Hold on. Becca Velvet Blurring Primer Perfecting Base, and this is like one of their newest primers that they came out with, but I had it for a while now since they did send me this through PR, and I've been loving this primer so much. So I'm just gonna squeeze out a little bit. That's how that looks like right there. It has a little bit of peachy tint, but it doesn't really change the color of my skin or anything. I'm gonna open this. It has 1.08 fluid ounces, so 0.08 more than typical usual foundation. By the way, my nail broke. I'm gonna get that fixed today, I promise. It's been bothering me like crazy. Alright, so like always, I'm going to apply one side of my face using my Morphe E6 brush. This is one of my absolute favorite foundation brushes. And then the other side of my face, will be applying it with the Fenty Beauty sponge. Alright, so it says always shake before use to activate. I'm not sure what that means, like activate the color. It also says the rich pigments need a moment to dry down to their truest color, so when you're testing shades, remember to let the formula dry completely to find your perfect shade. Oh, I'm pretty sure it says it means it's oxidizing, because it says if you're deciding between 2 shades, you should try the lighter shade. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna apply a few pumps here. Oh, it's actually pretty liquidy from what I had expected to be. Alright, here we go. Oh shoot, so if this oxidizes, then I'm in trouble. So it looks like it's about a medium coverage. It looks pretty good. It did a really good job evening out my redness. It's like I can feel it starting to mattify. I usually always set my foundation regardless, even if it does set down to a matte foundation, just because I just don't want to think about like having to transfer anywhere, so I set it anyways. But I might actually not with this foundation. It's like an invisible foundation. It feels like nothing on my face at the moment. Here is what the sponge looks like. It has like a nice little flat end right there so that I can probably get into like the more flatter surfaces. And then it also has that cut right there, which I'm guessing you can kind of use to shape out when you're baking. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and damp this up to see how big it gets and how this performs so we can apply it on the other side of my face. Whoa, look how big the sponge got. It says to use the slanted edge for controlled stippling, the mini moon edge for targeted coverage, like for the under eyes, and the rounded end for all over buffing. Pump out a few more. This was a one solid pump. All right, I'm actually gonna use this side right here to set that down. Oh wow, do you guys see that? Oh my gosh, my skin looks beautiful right now with this must be the sponge because it looks completely different from the brush side. The brush side, you can still kind of like see my texture a little bit, but the sponge side looks super smooth and flawless. Oh my gosh, look how flawless that looks. I actually really like the sponge side a lot better than the brush side, so I think I'm gonna go in with like a very light second layer just on this area and maybe like my nose to see if it's buildable. Okay, so one major thing that I'm noticing right now is that you have to work really fast because it's starting to leave like marks. Like if you dab some foundation and then you try to blend it out afterwards, it'll dry down into that shape. And then once you try to blend that shape out, it'll start to kind of create, I don't know if you guys can see this right here, but it's kind of clinging onto my dry patches here. Yeah, that's like really accentuating my dry patch right there. This is the only part that I don't like. Slightly on my nose here as well. I honestly don't think it did the best job when it came to building up the coverage. It was buildable in terms of like layering the foundation on top of another foundation to, I guess, like enhance that look, but I don't think it did a good job in terms of coverage. It is currently 1:10. I'm gonna call the finish time at 1 because that's when I actually finished applying the foundation. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. It is currently 1:25. That's my friend texting me because she's outside. So real quickly, what's on the rest of my face? My eyebrows is the Untitled Matte Formula Auto Brow Pencil in Gray Brown. I had tried this in my recent video, which is the full face of first impressions using Korean makeup. I had really loved this color and the formula, so I kept on using it. Concealer, I used the Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand. We'll get back to this in a moment because I have a lot to say. My blush is the Powder Blush by Milani in Romantic Rose, one of my absolute favorite blushes. My bronzer is always my favorite Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in medium/deep. Oh, my highlight. It's Becca Cosmetics Shimmering Perfector in Champagne Pop. This is their anniversary packaging, I believe. Oh, and forgot my lips. I actually got this as a Sephora 100-point gift thing that I had chosen or something like that. I totally forgot. But it's the Makeup Forever Artist Liquid Matte Lipstick in a 105. It kind of makes me feel like I'm like cold right now, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. I really love the formula though because it's really comfortable to wear. My eyes are bare right now because I think I'm gonna just head out for lunch really quick because I am starving, girl. But when I come back, I'll probably finish the rest of my makeup and I'll tell you guys what I have on my eyes then. Real quickly, back to the concealer. I use this concealer all the time, like every single day, and I have absolutely no issues. This is one of my favorite concealers. However, with this foundation, for some odd reason, it kept on disappearing. Every time I tried to blend it out, whether it was with this sponge or with my fingers, it just kept on like smearing away the foundation. Like when I was blending it out, it was picking up the foundation and taking it away and leaving like really random empty patches. And I've never had that issue with this concealer before, so it must be the foundation. And I kept on trying to salvage it by trying to like blend it out with either like more foundation or concealer on top, and it just kept on getting cakey, and I was just like, I'm done. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I'll show you guys in a close-up later, but my T-zone area is pretty bad looking. I've never had like dry patches show up this badly, and again, I kept on trying to make it work and trying to blend it out using a brush, my finger, with the sponge, and just nothing worked out, so I just gave up on it. I did, however, have to set my face using the Too Faced Primed and Poreless powder. This is just like a translucent powder. I've been just using this to just kind of lightly set my entire face, but it does help me look a little bit more like smoothen out my texture a little bit, like very slightly. So I did set it with that just on the areas where I do end up getting oily, but the rest of my face I didn't really have to because it already set down into like a soft matte finish, which I actually really like. The cheek area doesn't look too bad. It just kind of, it's not the best looking. Like I've seen foundations look a little bit better. It's not clinging onto any crazy dry patches like it's doing to my forehead, which is weird because my forehead usually never does this, like in my T-zone area. Oh, and my nose looks really bad right now. It looks very cakey right here. It's clinging onto all the dry patches, and when I try to contour my nose, which I do every day, it just kept on picking up the foundation and like making these empty patches that I was talking about earlier, and I can't. Like, I didn't know what to do anymore to salvage this, so I just left it alone as it is, and I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna try and wear this foundation for as long as I can though, just for the sake of this review, so that you guys can know my opinion throughout the entire day and how it wears. So those are my thoughts so far. I will check back with you guys at the midday. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take this lipstick off though, because I don't think this color is for me. Alright guys, time for midday check-in. It is currently 5:45. I've worn this for almost 5 hours. Let's take a closer look. Oh, the T-zone kind of got better because we were like outside. Remember how I was mentioning like this area and this area was looking really cakey and dry? It was pretty hot outside today. It was like pretty sunny and humid, so I was kind of sweating. So I think that's why some of the dry patches like on my T-zone got a little bit better than how it was before from when I had first applied it. But the nose area right here, it's still pretty cakey looking. Like it's kind of separating. Nothing was kind of clinging on, and it still looks the same pretty much. I don't know if you guys can see it here. The color, it didn't oxidize too much, but it's, you know, it's still a little bit darker than what I'm used to. I like the finish. It's not something that I would usually go for. Yeah, it looks like better than before, but I think my mind's pretty set. I don't like love it. I feel like if I don't love the foundation from the start, then my opinion pretty much stays the same unless there's like a drastic change that suddenly made the foundation look amazing. Yeah, those are my thoughts for the foundation right now. So I will check back with you guys at the end of the day. Hey guys, I'm back for my final thoughts. It is currently, guess what time it is? It's 12:06 at midnight. So it's basically like the next morning. So how long have I worn this foundation for? I wore this foundation for a little over 11 hours. So I am a little red right now, especially like this area, because I did have a couple glasses of wine. Yes, I'm the type that gets the Asian glow. I tend to get a little red, a little flushed, and usually it's like just like around this area. Alright, so as mentioned, like straight from the bottle, it's a long wear foundation, so I'm actually glad I got to wear this for more than 11 hours. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so obviously the first thing I notice is this area right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see from the close-up, but it has just completely rubbed off. Same goes for like my T-zone. It emphasized my dry patches so much that it looked more cakey to me. The sides of my nose area, it pretty much just kind of like caked up to each other, creased, and then it started rubbing off a little bit. So like my nose area is pretty much just gone. So I look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The cheek area looks okay. It actually stayed put. My pores look pretty freaking huge right now, right here, even with my velvet blurring primer underneath it, and this never emphasizes my pores. My forehead, besides like this area, like my T-zone area, it looks okay. It's looking a little bit oily, but not too bad, I guess. I did really like the finish, and I actually really like the sponge because I feel like it really did make it look a lot smoother for some reason. So I'm gonna have to try this sponge with some other foundation, see how it performs with that. So sadly, this foundation was not for me. I know my skin and I know the type of foundations that work for me, and when I start to see like cling onto dry patches, I know this is not going to be for me, so I don't think I'll give this another try, or who knows, maybe I'll give it another try, but I don't think it's worth it to mix with other foundations to just to try to make this work, because I have plenty of other foundations that are a little bit more affordable than this that performs a lot better. Sometimes things are good, sometimes things are bad. Alright guys, that is all for my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell button to be notified every time I upload a new video. Also, please leave me a comment down below on what video you guys would like to see next, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!